I know I'm late covering this, but I have a good reason. Hey guys, Nightfall here, and I kind of lied. I don't have a good reason. I'm just kind of lazy, but I'm here now, and that's what really matters. So, a few days ago on Tuesday, FragPunk released Dev Talk number 3, and sadly, it seems like this has become the norm for these Dev Talks rather than the videos where they answer about 10 to 15 questions or so, because the last one of those that we got was almost 2 months ago now, and that's kind of upsetting because I really enjoyed those. But regardless, we got some new information, some answers to questions that we've all been asking, or most of us anyway. So the very first question, without making a big deal about all this, is about ranked Shard Clash improvements. So here's what they had to say, and then I'll give you a little bit of insight on what I think. We've heard from many players about issues in the ranked system, especially at higher tiers, where teammates' skill gaps can lead to less enjoyable matches. Based on your feedback, we've decided to implement a new rank, and in Season 3 we'll add a rank between Master and Punk Master, aiming to provide a smoother and more balanced ranked experience for everyone. Now, this is all well and good. Many people, including myself, have been asking for something like this to be added, but the issue with ranked right now isn't the skill gap, which I'll actually touch on in just a minute. It's the ability to find games, and don't even get me started on all the closet cheaters. Who knows what they'll decide to call this rank? I think Sapphire would be a cool rank to name it, and it would also be a cool looking badge, and I also haven't seen any other game use a rank named Sapphire in those games. Just whatever you do, don't call it Emerald. And something else I don't want it to be called, but sounds like it's probably going to happen at this point, is Grandmaster. Now, before I move on to the next question, let me back it up some and talk about the skill gap that they mentioned. I agree, there is definitely a skill gap between players in the same rank. I've seen players in Punk Master have no fucking clue what they're doing. And there's tons of reasons for this. But let me tell you one of the most contributing reasons. It's people getting carried to a rank that they don't deserve. It's not because ranked is too easy or it's just a participation trophy. Like, a lot of these peoples will still tell you that if you just play enough games, if you just play long enough, you'll get Punk Master. It's not true. Not everybody's going to get Punk Master, but the people that get carried by these top players on Smurf accounts do get Punk Master. And those are the players that end up in your game, in my game, costing me rank because they don't know that pathogen is immune to enemy pathogen poison, and instead of diffusing the converter, they sit there and watch it tick down, not knowing they could have just won the round. The next question they answered is about esports and tournaments, and before I read their response for this one, I'm just going to make this very clear for everyone. Trying to force this game into esports before it's ready, or to cater to that top 1% of competitive players, will in fact be the death of this game. This game has a much larger issue and bigger concerns than to just start funding full-scale esports operations at the moment. And anyone telling you that just simply adding esports or adding more tournaments will bring players back, I can almost guarantee you that they're wrong and it'll do quite the opposite. And they clearly have the same message here from the devs, just in a more professional manner than what I said, which is basically shut the fuck up and let them do what they need to do. So here's what they said. Esports has always been a goal for FragPunk. That said, our current player base is not yet large enough to support a full-scale professional league. Nevertheless, we remain committed to making FragPunk more engaging, and we believe that one day we will have official competitive events, which they've already had in the past. In the meantime, we understand that our core players seek competitive play. We encourage the community to organize small-scale tournaments, and we're happy to support and promote these initiatives. Additionally, we are collaborating with Discord on SDK level integration, allowing players to create team invites directly through Discord, which will make forming squads easier and enhance the competitive environment. If all goes smoothly, this feature is planned for Season 3. So basically, if you want tournaments, do it yourself, and they'll help out where they can. I don't know anything about this Discord SDK level integration with team invites or anything like that. Let me know if you know anything about that down in the comments. But they do maintain that they still have hopes to incorporate a full-scale esports league at some point, but just not right now. And I'll just say, not every game needs esports. And while I think later on down the road, this game could potentially benefit from it. It doesn't need to be right now. Games need some time to build up a community, build up popularity before it launches into esports. And this game is kind of an uphill battle with player base right now. So let's address the bigger questions like, I don't know, how are we going to get new players to play the game? How are we going to retain those players? I would like answers to those questions. Once we get those players and we retain those players, then we can start asking the questions like, hey, when are we going to get an esports league? But moving on to the final question that they answered is in regards to limited time modes and more in particular, fill in penalties for those modes. And this was their response. We also received feedback regarding gear up mode where players matched as fill-ins would lose points even if they did not perform poorly. This impacted the gameplay experience, and to address this, starting with the deck gear up personal build mode on September 25th, fill-in players will no longer lose points even if their team loses. It's really weird the way that they worded this because it says fill-in players would lose points even if they did not perform poorly, as if somebody there from the start who was top frag on the losing team wouldn't still lose points anyway. If you lose the game, your whole team loses points. It's plain and simple. And it's not even like a normal amount of points. It's just a set, you lose 20 points per loss. But as I stated, during the current gear up mode event, being thrown into an ongoing game and losing would force you to lose points, which is obviously about the stupidest thing that you could have happen. That is, until you realize that there's something even stupider that's happening. The game mode has a rank tied to it, and they just throw you into an ongoing game. That shouldn't happen in the first place. Then they did give us a little additional insight about a new limited time mode called Deck Gear Up, which will be coming, they said, on September 25th, which sounds like it's going to allow players to go in with preset decks of sorts into the existing gear up mode. So it seems like they're trying to mesh the two ideas of a weapon economy while also trying to incorporate shard cards into that same game mode, which I think is a great idea because the shard cards is the core identity of this game. Really can't wait to see how they implement all of that together. I hope it's not just overwhelming and seems tiresome or confusing, but we'll have to wait and see. In the meantime, while we wait for that new game mode to come out, we have another new game mode that's currently out right now, and it's kind of broken at the moment, and that's Prop Hunt. As you can see here from the queue time just been going up and up and up, that I just kind of left this here as I was watching something else. I don't think you'll ever actually find a Prop Hunt game unless you join somebody's custom lobby, and they haven't made any official statement or told us that it's actually broken or any kind of ETA on when this is going to be fixed. But it kind of sucks because Prop Hunt was a game mode I was looking forward to, and there is a specific challenge that's tied to this, and while the reward isn't crazy or anything, it's just annoying that you can't complete that challenge because you can't find a actual game of Prop Hunt. But if you want your Prop Hunt mode fix, I do host custom games from time to time while I'm live, and there's also going to be a Creator Prop Hunt custom game later today starting around 6 p.m. Eastern time, featuring 2 team captains, Spoit and It's Timmy. Not sure which team I'll be on yet, but I will be streaming it later on today, so be sure to swing by and hang out, as there will be punishments for the losing team. And while you wait for that time, let me know down in the comments what rank you think they'll add with this next season, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.